Hello everyone, starting a bughouse stream. We're gonna look at a match between a bunch of strong players. It's been going on for a while. It's Bughouse Knight and 1800 Strength versus Katask and Schoolmeister. Um, Schoolmeister, otherwise known as Opera Wiesen. The score right now is 11-13, favoring 1800 Strength and Bughouse Knight. Let me check my sound levels. Yeah, that's picking up. Okay. So the Bughouse World Championships registration has closed. We are in the first week of the group stage. I probably should update my command at some point, but this link has some information on it. There are better links now. Okay, so Schoolmeister Opera Wiesen is in some trouble here. This king is not very safe. However, looking okay on time. 1800 strength is trying to make a maiden net. Pretty hard for him to get out of this. I guess he's going to go up this way. A knight would mate. A bishop would mate. A rook would mate. Pawn would not mate. He could also take this pawn and keep attacking, which is what he's probably going to have to do given the time. So 1800 strength, he's weak right here. He's going to repeat once. So this is the way the king could go. This is the way the king could go. Trying to bring this other knight in, which makes sense. So if Schoolmaster got a lot of feed, he could attack, but he needs, honestly, a knight to start an attack. He's gonna need like another knight for here. Oh, that's an okay move, but that's a good response. Attacks and defends. This knight guards these squares. So Schoolmaster would like another knight. Let's see what's going on the other board. Ooh, the task has a pretty good attack. Okay, so that's checkmate. Our score is now 14-11, favoring 1800 strength and Bughouse Knight. Let me see if I can get a co-commentator. Midnight Fox mentioned that he might want to commentate. Like I said, a bunch of these guys are playing in the Bughouse World Championship. I might be wrong about that. I'm not sure how many of them are playing. I don't think 1800 Strength is playing because he is helping organize. I know Katask is playing and is one of the top seeds. Katask is partnered to Jeffrey Jiang, who's a grandmaster. Also pretty good at Bughouse. I'm not sure off the top of my head if Bughouse Knight is in the tournament. I don't think Schoolmeister is. But this is good practice for Katask, who has not played Bughouse in a bit. Plucking this is not BWC. This is just a game for fun. Katask in the BWC is not partnered to Schoolmeister. Katask is partnered to Jeffrey Jiang.
Hello, Chuck. It's me, Midnight Fox.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. Yeah, it's really exciting that the Bughouse World Championship is starting now.
I have some other news. In addition to the Bughouse World Championship, Chess.com just announced that there's a new Games Done Quick to be held this Saturday. And it is Bughouse Edition, which they haven't done before. So what Games Done Quick is basically like a speed run. Like they give streamers alternate accounts, and then they see how high the rating can get with that account in a period of 3 hours. So there's going to be more Bughouse content coming soon. And it's going to get a lot more streamers involved in Bughouse. They may practice beforehand of playing Bughouse in the pool. And even if they don't, a lot of people are going to see Bughouse during that 3 hour period.
Yeah, that's really exciting, and hopefully some of the streamers will get the bughouse fever.
There's also a bunch of prizes for it, like as much as prizes for the Bughouse World Championship. Like we may see streamers who don't stream Bughouse very much, but do stream, like Plotkin, for example, would be a good one to enter. I would imagine top seeds are going to be, if they choose to play it, would be Plotkin, 1800 strength, Chess Brainiac, and me, if I had to guess. But there's first through fifth place has money prizes. That I think first place might be like 1,000, second place like 700 or something like that. And then there are also bounties for doing certain things. Let me try to link an article for that in case people are interested.
Yeah, that will be really exciting to see who turns up.
Okay,
so
Plotkin
very fun that
has very nicely said he won't be playing, which moves me up in the likely prize money. We will miss you, Plotkin, but I consider your decision to play chess that weekend very profitable for me.
So, are you going to enter as a partner, or
I'm going to enter as a participant. I would be fine with, instead of participating, commentating, but they seem to have GM Kenny commentate on all these things, and last time we tried to get there was a Chess Done Quick Variants Edition, which was other variants. It was Fog of War, 4-player chess, and 960, and we tried to get them to have a commentator who had expertise in it, and Chess.com was not interested. They picked Kenny instead, and Kenny didn't really say anything. He just would show people streams, without comment. So I imagine that's what's going to happen here. Okay, 1800 strength is just sacking pieces. And he gets checkmated. Our score is now 15-13, favoring 1800 strength and Bughouse Knight. So, of these players, I would imagine Schoolmeister and Katask are the least in shape. 1800 strength plays very, very often, and Bughouse Knight, I believe, plays often as well. Katask and Schoolmeister. Well, Katask is clearly the strongest, but started out a little rusty. He had been playing some Crazy House due to the Crazy House World Championships going on right now, of which he is a candidate. So he's somewhat in practice of Crazy House, which, of course, is applicable to Bughouse. A lot of the same tactics.
Yeah, and I think Schoolmeister, he is known as Opperwiesen,
yes.
and he's a former world champion in Crazy House, I believe. So he's also a very strong Crazy House.
Yeah,
he's
sure.
more of a Crazy House specialist, but he's also strong at Bughouse, obviously.
Yeah, he is strong at Bughouse. Whenever he plays Bughouse, whenever he's dragged into games like this, he says he's not very good at Bughouse, but being able to maintain basically a 2400 rating shows that he is fairly decent. But he is also quite good at Bullet. He is finished, I believe, first in at least one, and second or third in a few of Lee Chess's Titled Tuesdays, or not Titled Tuesdays. It's I forget what they call it. It's basically a monthly tournament for only title players, and a lot of grandmasters playing it. Like Magnus Carlsen regularly participates. So we're talking mostly grandmasters, and the way those tournaments usually go is, if you look at the leaderboard, it's like Grandmaster, 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 Opera Weason, Grandmaster, 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 National Master 12 Teen, Grandmaster, Grandmaster, Grandmaster. So like got our Bughouse Crazy House players, they like some of them do quite good at normal chess and overperform for their chess rating. So
Yeah, and
Schoolmeister,
we can see here. I've been looking a bit at the games that Katask he is playing super fast. He is a Bughouse Knight. He is. I played him quite many times, and for one of the players that play like the random pool and like that, Bughouse Knight is known as one of the fastest players. But when he's playing Katask, he feels like he's quite a slow player. So that just shows how extremely fast Katask is, and that means that Schoolmeister, who's playing 1800 strength, is also very fast. He can attack like you can see he has a bit of a sack sitting style in Schoolmeister, and that's possible because the other table is so super fast here.
yeah, that is a very good insight. Katask is a greedy guy. He likes to take all the pieces. So I definitely like his style. He is very fast, and in order to take all that rook is going to be a little annoying. I guess he's fine. Um, in order to be this greedy, you have to be quite fast.
Yeah, I think it was him that wrote an article in Chess.com. He has written a lot of very very good articles
He
about Bughouse and
has.
Chess.com, and he had one article where we talked about styles and like that. And I think he called himself like a fast defender or something like that, if I remember correctly. And that's like an accurate, like he's playing very fast and staying safe. And
I'm going to put
yeah,
that
do
in the
what's good.
chat. His blog post about this.
So it's
So,
like
so
watching his partner's board and make his partner
for
yeah
sure.
play better.
So they at one point Katask and Schoolmeister were up about 10 seconds, and Schoolmeister said, "I sit." So gave Katask 10 minutes to get safer, get out of check, and mount an attack. And now they are downtime again. But Schoolmeister seems safe enough. I mean, he's going to lose a queen for sure, but um, his king is not in danger.
He got mated. There was an unfortunate queen that came there for Katask, so he got mated.
Yeah. Our score is now 18-14, favoring 1800 strength and Bughouse Knight. The other dynamic is Katask is he doesn't want people to know who he is, which is reasonable. He wants to protect his anonymity. As a function of that, he very rarely joins voice calls because he's worried that might give up his identity. And being in a voice call is a huge advantage in Bughouse. I would imagine that 1800 strength and Bughouse Knight are in a voice call. Sometimes maybe not. 1800 strength just says rook for queen trade comes, so he is typing in the chat. So maybe they're not in a voice call after all. Bughouse Knight is using the buttons. Bughouse Knight says no knight. I was going to say I thought 1800 strength had a voice call advantage, but perhaps that's not the case.
And I like that Katask because he's the only one of the top players that is anonymous, and I like that because it brings another level of mystery to Katask that we don't know, like who he is. He could be anybody, like, and
Well, the one thing we know for sure is that he's a FIDE master because he has that title attached to his Just.com account. But yeah, beyond that, we don't really know. He claims to be from what is this, Finland? He claims to be from Finland. We don't know that for sure. He doesn't like us to speculate much about who he is, so I won't do that. But I will say. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, my point was that sometimes, like I know, for example, like in a TV series or something like that, like often they are like really exciting because you don't know like what will happen and so on. But once you have seen the TV series, you know like who it is, like all the magic dies down. And I feel a little bit about that's why Katask is so interesting, because we don't know who he is. If he told us who he is, then like half the magic would be done. So I like very much that he doesn't say who he is, and they let us enjoy um, the excitement of not knowing. There is some excitement
In
in that.
addition to that, he's found a possible nemesis in the Crazy House World Championship, because someone entered that tournament as Dog Answer, which is, of course, is a playoff of a cat ask. So this Dog Answer person made it to the candidates, which is, I believe, the top 12 players. Might be the top 11 or 10. I'm not sure, but it is the people who are playing like a round robin tournament to decide. Like the first place of that round robin is going to play the world champion from the previous year. So both Katask and Dog Answer made it to that tournament, and we don't know who either of them are.
And there is also one more interesting rivalry in that Katask. It's looking like he is going to play the Crazy Old World Championship against 12 Teen, who won the Bughouse World Championship last year. So might get to see, probably will get to see them playing the Crazy Old World Championship, and maybe we will also get to see them play the final in the Bughouse World Championship, because both has teamed up with different partners, and those two, Katask and 12 Teen, they are really the two strongest variant players probably ever. Like, so it will be, we have a great rivalry here, because for some years 12 Teen was kind of before Katask arrived, he was like probably in a league of his own, but now he has a worthy opponent in Katask, so that will be very, very interesting to watch. It will be a little
I
bit
don't think
like
he was quite in a league of his own, but he was certainly he was certainly like the top player. Because there have been years when literally there was one Bughouse player or one Crazy House player that was head and shoulders above anyone else, and no one could even get like an even score with them. And I don't think that's quite the case here. At least not to that extent. Like that is one of the reasons why Bughouse has collapsed at some points in the past. Because I've talked to the top players who are friends of mine, and they've been like, well, I kind of stopped playing because there was no competition. I would just like win every time I played. And then several times that's happened, and players have left the Bughouse scene because they didn't feel like they had competition. And then when competition suddenly came, they returned to Bughouse. An example of that is Via Boris, otherwise known as Gulamali Rises. He left Bughouse for a bit because he felt there was just no competition. I believe to a certain extent that was true of Nils Grandelius too, though more in the over the board context. So yes, people enter and leave the Bughouse scene regularly, and it's sometimes it's like it's hard to imagine as someone who likes to win. You know, I would get frustrated if I just lose every game, but there are players out there who get frustrated if they win every game, and the 12 Teen has been one of those in the past.
Yeah, and you really need two strong players that are on about the same level to create these epic matches. Like
Right.
Karpov and Kasparov was like I think they played like 5 World Championship matches, and they were like very, very strong and even. You need two players like to make those super exciting matches. Like in chess, Magnus Carlsen has been like dominant for the last 10 years, but but one day he will get a challenger also.
Yeah, and PKR in the chat pointed out that John and Opera Vision were in that category. Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a period where John Lee Crazy House, otherwise known as Tan the Man from Fix, um, he was just the best at Crazy House bar none, and he didn't really have competition. Um, Now he is still, up there, but he's no longer considered the best of the best. John Lee Crazy House probably considered among the top 3 or 4 players at this point. But competition has developed. So we have 12 team now. We have Opera Wiesen. We have Katask, um, and that's just in Crazy House. And there's the same sort of dynamic that happens in Bughouse. So this knight
Yeah.
here on G2 is a friendly piece. Katask does not want to take it because then he would expose his king. Um, well, I mean, he's a greedy guy, so I'm sure he wants to take it, but he's not going to take it because it would expose his king. Uh, I think he should have taken with knight,
I
and knight
kind
could have
of
guarded G2. That seemed unusual to me.
Yeah, it was probably because he saw that even if pawn g2, king g2, he covered all the other squares where black could have put in a knight. But I would also have done like you did. But he thought like one step further that even if the king had to go to g2, it was safe because he guarded all those squares. And I'm also impressed here by Opperwiesen's bishop. He has put in all his pieces like bishops and rook like in like a square around his king, so he's pretty safe there.
Yeah, and this is an insight. If you're defending, what you want to do is basically take your pieces and either put them on weak squares or have them attack weak squares. And if you have a lot of pieces near your king that are covering all the potential weak squares, you're just not going to get checkmated. Hey, our Peach, thanks for stopping by. Our score is now 21-17, favoring Bughouse Knight and 1800 strength.
And here we can see that Bughouse Knight, he was probably, I think he's playing more chess than Bughouse nowadays. And he played like a chess opening. He played
Yeah.
c5 here. It's
And
not
this,
recommended in Bughouse because it weakens c7, but it was probably like a reflex that he thought he was playing bullet or blitz or something. And then in blitz, it would have been a perfectly fine move.
Yeah, and people often ask me, like, what is a good opening for Bughouse? And at the lower levels, I have some suggestions to them, like do not move your F pawn, don't create weaknesses on F2 or C2, develop your pieces, things like that. But at a higher level, um, it, it's really the case that any opening is playable as long as you're fast enough. Because like you can open with F4, and if you're fast enough that your opponent is not going to get like a pawn to drop on F2 or knights to get in your face at critical moments, you can play around with weird stuff. So I think that C5 it is a playable move. It creates a weakness, but that weakness can be guarded, which it was, um, as long as your team is fast enough.
Yeah, and I think also some people they like to experiment with new stuff and new openings and like that. But I think in this, in this case, it looked
Ooh, a
looked a
knight
bit risky.
knight would mate for Bughouse Knight, because of the smother mate threat, and
Yeah, maybe but it's not so clear because he can take twice with the queen, but probably it looked very dangerous.
oh, you're right. My bad.
But after that, then he would get like he had to. After that, there might have been a knight, so it might have been right to sit for a knight and try something like that.
So I've just been notified that for the Bughouse World Championships, we have sent out a message to all of the participants that we're just going to come in on these diagonals that basically is going to let them know the process and link to a blog post we made about this. If anyone who's participating in the Bughouse World Championship has questions, I would encourage you to join our Bughouse World Championship Discord. But additionally, you could ask questions in this chat. Midnight Fox and I are both organizers. We'd be happy to discuss mechanics of that.
Yes, and we are so proud and happy that so many people have signed up. We're almost 500 participants. It was because I think a lot because of the news post that you made and Chesscom sent out to many players that really attracted
I
a lot
think
of interest.
it's the news post. It's also the prize pool, or people like money. It's interesting. Last year when we did this, the open section had like almost double the number of entries as the under 2000 section, and this year it is reversed. The open section has maybe even 3 times as many teams. The under 2000 section has, I think, 3 times as many teams as the open section. And I think that dynamic is probably because more people feel like they have a chance in the under 2000 section, whereas in the open section, like we're pretty sure who the top, I don't know, 4 to 6 teams are going in. Even if you're not going to win it, of course, we encourage you to play in it because it's just a fun tournament all around.
Yeah, and I think Bughouse's greatest strength compared to chess is that it's so easy to meet new people and build friends because you have to play with a partner and you're playing against 2 opponents and you discuss with your partner. And I know I played both a lot of Bughouse and chess, and it's just so easy to make friends in Bughouse, and that's why it's so fun that so many people have joined. And a lot of people, they signed up alone, and we have assign them a partner, and hopefully they can be friends with their partner and start playing randomly in the pool and like that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to make a chess done quick command too, because as I said earlier in the stream, it was announced the next chess done quick event is going to be Bughouse, and that is going to be this coming weekend on November 14th. So really looking forward to that one. And we have Chess Heroes in the chat. Chess Heroes is a streamer and is also entered into the under 2000 section of the Bughouse World Championship. The Chess Heroes is 4 chess coaches. I believe 4. There might be 5. But I think probably it's Andrew who popped in the chat here. And Andrew and Corno are going to partner each other, and they partnered last year, and they really love Bughouse. It's good to have them in the tournament.
And here it's a fun position between 1800 strength and Schoolmeister. It looks so dangerous with so many bishops and knight, but he couldn't find a mate there at 1800 strength, so no Schoolmeister got the attack, and maybe he will probably might mate here. I don't really see how, but
I mean, a rook would be quite good for him. Oh, and he has a rook. Why did he put the bishop there?
Oh,
that has to be a mouse slip.
Yeah, it must have been. And it must have been a mouse slip by 1800 strength, because he could also put in like a rook on e8, but now he did it. But they were so... Oh, do you see Katask's strength? He plays it. He uses a strategy called... I know you don't like it, but it's called multi-pre-moving, that you're just making... And that's a good tip for everyone who is watching, maybe playing under 2000 and doesn't know this. If you have very low time, just move the king around the board, like, and you can do that before your opponent has moved. That's like a strategy that you can move very fast in time trouble. I know you're anti pre-moves, but most people they use it. So everyone has to. Everyone has to. If you are going to compete, you should use that in the tournament.
So, 2 of the most fun things for me in Bughouse, number 1 is something that we see both online over the board, and that is king walking, which can be fun when you are being checked, your opponent is attacking you. Maybe they have a mountain of pieces, and you just walk your king around the board, taking all their pieces, and somehow become safe because they're not accurate with mating. That's one of the most fun things for me. But another fun thing to watch online is anti-pre-moving. So if you know that your opponent is going to pre-move, often you can find a move that exploits that pre-move. And that can be in the end game when they try to pre-move out a mate and you do something unexpected and they lose check and all of a sudden you start attacking. It can be in the open end where you might pre-move like a knight out and they might play pawn at e7 and then take your queen. So there are various ways to anti-pre-move if you can anticipate that your opponent is going to pre-move.
And I think actually the best anti-pre moves, it's moves that are like good moves. If you know that your opponent, he's always playing like these moves, and maybe you could make a move that is it's even if your opponent sees it, it's still like a decent move. But yeah, if he pre-moves, then you punish him. So, for example,
Uh-oh. Um,
oh, it seems like they are done. They are done now. But this was a great series to watch here.
They're saying Katask is muted. Does that mean
It can happen. It's
yeah?
if you
Was he
talk too
spamming and
fast.
then I didn't see
I
Katask
didn't.
say anything, so maybe maybe I had him blocked or he has me blocked. Now I kind of want to look
No,
at.
I think he got muted. They write that it's easy. You only get it for 1 hour, but if you are like very into the game and talk a lot and fast, I think it's if you write like 6 things
Yeah,
like in a row or something like that, you can't talk for 1 hour. So it's probably that has happened. But it's not no big deal. But
yeah.
that's
I don't recall him saying things in the chat, and so I was wondering. Like I don't have him blocked. Maybe he has me blocked. I don't know. But
no, I didn't see it either. But it was probably muted. So
yeah. Um, Hello, artist. Thanks for watching. Uh, yeah. So
and
this series appears to be over. Let me put the final score in the chat. Final score is 22-18, favoring 1800 strength and Bughouse Knight.
Yeah, and here you can see Bughouse Knight. He got in a knight a3. That's a typical pattern that you should know if you play Bughouse, because if this knight is taken, black can mate with queen a1, and if white king go to the corner, king a2, you can do the smother mate. You put your queen on b1 and rook takes, and then knight c2 is mate. That's a typical pattern that's good to memorize if you play Bughouse.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong part. Yeah. So the knight at a3, and we can't take that because then queen at a1 or b2. If he moves over, then we're going to have the smothered mate. Queen in, rook takes, knight takes is mate. Let's see if there are other games going on. Looks like Pure Essence is playing, Ego Smasher is playing, Jubla is playing, Marierton. There's a lot of games going on.
Yeah, let's follow Pure Essence maybe. He was in the
Yeah,
in the
he's in the
semifinals.
final four. Yeah.
Yeah, in the final four teams last year. So it's a strong player, and he's also he's quite a fun player to watch, I think. And he's playing with two players from Lithuania who is also signed up for the tournament. I saw them in the list, and they are probably practicing too.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea to practice rather than just only playing your Bughouse World Championship matches. Yeah, this queen on g7 is actually quite a good defender for Pires. He might move it over to b7 to start attacking, but
he's trying to calculate the mate here, and he's quite this is his strength. He loves attacking, and
he does.
He probably finds a mate here. I can't see it but I'm confident he will find it. Yeah,
And
that's a nice
and he
mate.
did. That is very nice mate. The score of this match is 6.5 to 5.5, favoring the Pure Essence team. And this is interesting because we have somewhat of a rating differential here. So go to 22 is only rated about 2100, and Pure Essence is rated 2400. So we have a 2400 and a 2100 against a 2300 and a 2200. And Bughouse is interesting because it's generally possible to make fair teams if you have a very strong player and a somewhat weak player. They can partner each other and play against two medium players.
Yeah, that's great about Bughouse, that you can make you can make fair teams if you have often you can make fair teams if you have 4 players with different strengths.
And we have seen people practicing for the Bughouse World Championship. So there are several streamers who have entered the tournament. Yesterday, Hashtag Chess and Anamaya, who have partnered, were practicing some. That was fun to see because they have very little Bughouse experience. So they were sort of learning things as a beginner. Like they didn't know the piece values at the beginning. They didn't know how the clocks worked. That it's the diagonal clocks that matter. They were learning openings. It's fun to see that, and I think they will improve a lot over the course of the tournament, like many players will.
Yeah, and I it will be fun to see how because they are playing under 2000, if they practice a lot, and if because they're both are good chess players. So if you're a good chess player, but you're not so used to Bughouse, then if you practice, then you can improve your Bughouse quite a lot, and they can perform good in the tournament if they really try and want to, I think.
For sure. So Xerxes LT hasn't really developed any of his queenside. I'm sure he would like to get like bishop e6, get that knight out, etc. Pure Essence is going hard. Pawn at d2 is going to come.
Yeah, this
And
looks dangerous for
this is a
White. White shouldn't
maiden
have
neck,
White.
so
Yeah,
that
White shouldn't have defended. They probably shouldn't have allowed this. Knight f4 is a threat now. He needs to
yeah,
defend it.
we might see knight at c1 instead.
That looks good, and then maybe a new pawn on d2, and maybe one more knight. It's big problems for White. Like pawn d2 maybe, but it's even time.
Yeah, he would lose the knight on e5 then. So Pure Essence, we see, is trying to get all of his pieces in play, which is a good strategy. This is so moving the pawn to f6, often a risky move, creates a weakness on f7, but he felt he needed to given the time.
Yeah, and his partner is he can't.
Oh,
A
that is a
queen would
nice
mate
move.
his queen would mate his partner, so he can't take back the queen. So that was good. It was a good move by Blixtelt. He realized
Xerxes is
that
finding some great moves here. Although he has a hole on e8, so if his attack ever stops,
it
that's going to
looks
be a
like he can
problem.
sacrifice the queen, maybe queen e2 and maybe pawn at d3. Then White has no defenders at all. That looks like a strong continuation. I can't see a forced mate, but that's one way to continue at least.
Yeah. Yeah, to take the bishop, then pawn takes rook. Seems decent, and you could bring the knight back to e5 if he takes that pawn, and then that would potentially knight takes f7, something like that.
He's probably considering also a knight drop on e3, but I don't like that so much because bishop will take, knight will take, and then king to c1. And in that case, he would need like a queen to c2 or something.
And Pure Essence has
Which he might
put in
get.
maximum pressure here because by waiting, even though he's down time, Pure Essence is basically saying that Xerxes has to either check or has to guard this checkmate on e8. And he just gained some time there with that pawn push. Now
Yeah,
the time
and
is even.
I think the Lithuanian team is definite. They are probably winning, so they shouldn't sit down until they just have seconds left, because then it's a coin toss. Everyone can be faster, so they should definitely. Xerxes LT should take like he does now and start checking. It might be mate here some way. This was actually a very nice mate.
Yep.
I didn't see that move,
Nice
but
find
that
by
looks like a
Xerxes.
nice one.
And he was able to get his rook into play, which was a good resource to have.
And both of them are FIDE masters, both from Lithuania. And I think a difference between like a bughouse player that used to playing chess and a bughouse player that doesn't play so much chess is that chess players is more used to these positions. Like now that Xerxes had 1 minute where he could think and find the mate, and many bughouse players, they play more on feeling like, but a chess player is used to spend like a few minutes to think about what's the best move and concentrate for a few minutes like that. So that's I've noticed that a chess player often are quite good when they can think for a few minutes and find a complicated mate like he did here.
Yeah, that's true. Pure Essence is asking for pieces, but he is asking for trades, but he is downtime about 10 seconds. Hey, Swole, did you enter the under 2000 section? If so, that's awesome. Yeah, I would love to commentate your match, Swole. If you mean commentate your practice, that's something maybe possible as well. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be streaming here. We'll see.
Yeah, we can look at them. I think isn't Swole also a streamer, and also his partner Joe? I think
Yeah,
also
Joe
they are
is a streamer as well.
So it will be fun to.
Oh, you're the top team in your group. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you will hopefully advance then. Oh, you meant the match. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, just let me know when it's scheduled for, and I will try my best to commentate. There's just a ton of teams. I believe there are 240 teams roughly, which means there's going to be 120 matches any given week. Assuming none of them overlapped, which is of course false. Like some of them will overlap, but if none of them overlapped, that would be more than 120 hours of Bughouse in any given week. So I am not going to be able to commentate all of the matches, but I hope to get a lot of streaming in. Who's in the call? Midnight Fox is with me right now. So if he took the rook, the knight would hang.
Yeah, that's but that looks quite okay. He could also take on G2 and continue attacking, but it looks like he doesn't have enough pieces to mate here, so it's right for for go to sit and let Pure Essence.
That was a mistake. Safer. Now knight takes f2.
Yeah,
it's going to be quite good. Knight takes f2, bishop takes, knight takes, then a new knight on h3, I assume.
Yeah, he gets a lot of checks on time
there. Although I guess Goto would like a knight. Maybe that's why they're waiting. He wants a knight for d1.
That wins the queen, yeah.
And Goto is up about 5 seconds. So he's probably going to wait until his partner is safer to take the queen. And this is a good time to sit.
They are getting low on time here. The
and now he is much safer. Your Essence has a very safe king.
Yeah, and he does
walked his king way over there. Oh, and that's mate. Queen at, yeah. made him more.
That was an impressive speed of pure essence. I think he played that game really fast. That was a lot of move in a short time there.
Yep.
It shows that he can defend also. It's not only attack. He did some impressive defending there and fast.
I do
This
find
position,
that when you are quite good at attacking, sometimes you give your opponent too much credit. Like you see all sorts of great attacks on you, and your opponent does not necessarily see them. But like you would think that being a great attacker would make you a decent defender too, because you would see like where your opponent is probably going to try to get in. But sometimes it makes you too paranoid.
yeah, definitely. And I also, at least for me, there is something like it's just psychologically more easy to attack because, there is just something that it's just easier, at least for me to do. Because if you mate, you win, and if you don't mate, then it's just normal that you don't mate. But if you get mated, that's like it feels like that's like you have made some error if you get mated. Like it's something psychological, like you said.
So a rook would mate for Blix, but he is down time, so he's not going to get it. Swalt, if you're still there, just to let you know, Chess Done Quick is happening this weekend, just announced. It is Bughouse Edition. What? That is an odd move.
That was probably a slip. You should want probably to take the pawn f3, I imagine.
So yeah, Chess Done Quick is basically a speed run where players will be given an alternate account that will start with, I don't know, something like a 1200 rating, and you try to get as high a rating as possible in 3 hours, and it will be Bughouse. It should be very interesting. A great month for Bughouse.
Yeah, you should do that because they had like, lots of different kind of prizes. There were some prizes that you could you should make some kind of an achievement and post a picture. And I read it. It sounded quite fun and for every streamer.
Yep. This is a nice diagonal for Blix to have. Bearing down on g2. He probably wants to play rook to g8 at some point when his queen isn't hanging.
This is interesting. Do you think Xerxes is mating? He probably is because he has so many pieces. So he has to go back now. But it's he really has to run with king to the queen side. But
yeah, bishop at h6 is just going to be game over. Put the queen at g7, and probably a knight there will get. But pawn at f5 is just reasonable. I don't like this as much because there's more pieces bearing down on that, but maybe it works.
Yeah, maybe he can take it 2 times here. What happened?
There's just the resignation.
He Purison found a good move. He had a back rank check and he didn't have a blocker, and they were done time.
Yeah.
I looked at the other like king walking there, so. And here we see that in Search's game that it's often a bad idea if you're new at Bughouse to not move your e-pawn, because Xerxes didn't move his e-pawn, and that allowed Go to drop a pawn on e6 and start play there. And if you're new to Bughouse, it's recommended move your e-pawn as quickly as possible, so you don't allow this kind of play. Maybe some experienced Bughouse players can defend this, but it's complicated. So if you're new to Bughouse, you shouldn't allow a drop on e3 or e6 without with your pawn stuck on the second rank.
Yeah. So Go-To is threatening a promotion, attacking the rook, which gains him a little bit of time. Probably knight at Knight at f8 is interesting. But no, he's going to get the queen in, threaten queen takes f5. It's a good move to get more pieces in play.
And Blix LT also have a dangerous attack here. Is it? It almost mate bishop g7 and pawn g6. That looks like a mate.
Yeah.
Because pawn g6 and then pawn h7, and if it goes up, it was also mate. So that looks like a mate.
And I think
Yeah,
so. Xerxes has to
confirms
survive for a bit of time here. I think he'll be able to do it though. The pawn at f7 is probably coming to threaten a promotion and get another queen on the board. Oh, he's just gonna.
Yeah, it's a matter of time here. How fast you are. Now he lost his queen, so now it's over.
Yeah.
But I think like if instead of goto, if there was some really fast player like your Katask or someone like that, like 8 seconds would be enough for them to win that position. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So this opening that Pure Essence plays, it's a classic opening. The idea is that if black takes bishop takes c3, then white will take pawn c3 and then knight c3, and here white will sacrifice his queen, maybe drop a knight on h5 or do bishop g5, and then black can take the queen on d1 and white will take the queen on d8. This is like a very common and popular line, and I think a lot of people they like it for white because white gets a dangerous play here. So I guess that's why the Lithuanians is sitting, because if you get some stuff, maybe you can you can do something else. You don't have to go into this line. But I know some people they like to play this.
Tell me the line again. What?
Black can play bishop takes c3.
Okay.
Pawn takes c3, knight takes c3, bishop g5.
Oh, I see. So
d1 and then bishop
take
bishop take d8.
Okay.
That's the line. I think that a lot of players like Chicken Crossroad, they always like this, has analyzed this and like this for white a lot. But I know that Sixon, he's like this for black, and he used to go into this line. But I think most other players have given up on this line for black. But Sixon still plays it, and he knows all the tricks. So if you know all the tricks and have like a more experience in this tactical position, then it can still be playable for black. But most people have given up because it's just too risky, I think.
And Zyson is playing in the Bughouse World Championship. He is partnered to Grand Delicious, who is Niels Gradilius, who was your partner in many of the over the board Bughouse World Championships in Berlin.
Yeah, and it will be really interesting to see how they do. Niels hasn't played much Bughouse at all maybe the last 5 years or so, but when he plays a lot, he is very, very strong. So I really feel that there are like maybe 4 teams that have a good shot at the World Championship. Of course, favorites are probably 12 team, Katask team, and Chicken Crossroads team, but also Sixon and Nils Grandelius could maybe surprise and maybe get to the final or so. It will be very fun to follow them.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the Berlin tournament, which has gone on for about 20 years now, maybe not quite 20 years, but almost 20 years. In the Berlin tournament, there was like a 5-year streak where you and Nils got the win. But apart from that, basically, Firefly would partner a different person almost every year, and Firefly being Zyson, and it always happened that he would be in the top two teams, usually the top team. So he just has decades of experience at the top levels. So the fact that he could enter the Berlin tournament and just win or finish second with anyone he chose shows, when he decides to partner someone like Nils Grandelius, you can't count that team out. That is such a strong team.
And he has loads of experience, because I started to play maybe bughouse when I was maybe in high school or so, and when I started, it was quite a long time ago. Sison was already one of the top players back
Yeah,
then.
the same with me. I started I started playing online in university, and he was already one of the top players then. I went to the first Bughouse gathering I went to was in 2000. Was it 2000 or 2001? I think it was 2001 in Las Vegas, and that was the gathering at which Ganesh went to the U.S. And Ganesh only went to one gathering, whereas Zaizan went to many gatherings. But we held a tournament there. It wasn't. There wasn't really money involved. It was just sort of for honor. But everyone there participated in the tournament, and at many tournaments you come in with a set partner, and whoever the two best players tend to partner each other, and then they just sweep the tournament. But this tournament we arranged so the highest player was partnered with the lowest player, and so forth until like two middle players are partnered together. So it was very, very competitive, and I was partnered to Zaizan because I was just starting out and I was not very good at the time. I was a 1400 player. So I have indeed played with him for many, many years. Go to this king is not in a good way here, and
No,
the fundamental problem, which I tell beginners all the time, is you've got to develop your king's bishop, um, because there was a sack, and if you develop your king's bishop, then you have some luft. You can just walk your king to f8. Without that, um, without that resource, there were just many weaknesses where his king had to walk. Luckily, his partner bailed him out, but it was looking bad.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's something that you have to. That's a very, very good rule, and I always do that. So now you can see Xerxes,
Yeah,
has
it's the
problems
same
again.
thing. He has
If
not moved his king's
he
bishop.
should have before he took the knight, he could have checked bishop b4 check and then take the knight, and then he would have had a square two for the king.
Yeah, and even if his opponent like drops a pawn on c2 and takes that bishop, that's not the end of the world. King safety is more important.
Yeah, that's definitely worth a piece, and that's why you see lots of people going for the sacrifice on f7. They know that's to get your opponent's kings out like that. That's worth a knight for a pawn easily. So many people defend it.
And Blix has some problems here. So pawn at f2 could be a thing, but Purescence doesn't yet have a knight in hand, and he has developed his king's bishop, so he has the ability to walk to f1 if necessary.
Yeah.
So Xerxes is worried about these bishops trade in, and then pawn at e7. The bishops did trade. We're probably going to see a sack on f2.
Definitely, that's
Xerxes,
because it looks impossible to almost impossible to defend. So he must go.
Sometimes it's just not possible to defend, so you have to go all in attacking. This seems like one of those situations. Although after he sacks, if he got another bishop, that bishop could be placed on. What is that? Is that a4? No, h4, which would guard e7 a little bit. Oh, I think going all in is going to work though. It looks like Xerxes is going to have mate. Oh, that's interesting. The queen checked. I didn't see that. So
they did good coordination there, because they traded queens at exactly the right time when Xerxes could
the
have
knight at g. Oh, I think he should have played knight at g6. Or sorry, knight of b6, knight of b6.
Yeah. Oh, there it was a mistake. They should have sat there. If Goto had sat, they had no. They were up time, so Pure Essence might have mated there because Blix's king was also running.
Yep.
So that was a mistake. Yeah, by Goto. He probably didn't look at the times.
And our score right now, I believe, is all tied up, 10.5 to 10.5. Let me see if there's other interesting games going on. Okay. Seems like the game to watch right now. Xerxes winning some pieces here, and e4 is also hanging for now. I think he just takes that bishop. Pawn takes bishop. And his bishop guards c2. He can maybe castle after he takes it. But we'll probably see pawn takes d3, then pawn at e2.
Something like that. But I like Black's idea to put the bishop on d3 and go for the attack. Even if you lose some pieces, then it's time to try to go for the attack and try him, because it's no use to start defending if you lost a couple of pieces. Then it's better just to take a gamble and go for the attack.
We had to put the rook up here so he has room to run his king, because queen at e8 is a pretty good threat. I'm not sure why it hasn't been played yet, honestly. Queen at e8 just seems... Oh, he's going to try to use his existing queen. That's reasonable. But now he kind of has to go all in. Because...
No, he does the king walking. That's the fun part.
It is, yeah. Partner trying to get him some material.
Pawn d3, and then he has to go king f4, and then maybe queen takes f6. No, you can't. No. Yeah. Maybe pawn d3, king f3 is only move, and then he's...
He's kind of running out of things to do.
He looks quite safe. They're down time, so
maybe queen h5. Then we see a bishop in. Yeah, this seems resignable. Wait, what? No, he just no. he missed he missed queen takes bishop, queen takes.
Oh yeah, that was a mate. Yeah, that's so bad.
Yeah.
The
other board has a mate.
He could have put the bishop on f5 instead and been safe there. So bishop f4 was also a misdrop.
Yeah, but maybe he was just trying to feed his partner, because his partner has mate right now. And they are up a ton of time.
Yeah, anyway, that was a weird finish after they have fought for so long.
Yep.
So it will be interesting to see if any one of the big streamers like Hikaru or Botes or Levy or Eric Chessbras or any one of those is participating in the Bughouse tournament.
Yeah, I think Kakara will for sure participate. So he participated in the other variants done quick event. Although he was frustrated by that event, I think he will participate in this one. Botes does not tend to participate in Chess Done Quick, so I don't think we will see either of the Botes sisters there, especially because I believe they are traveling in Europe right now. Levy, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see who hops in. Yeah, I still haven't clarified some of their rules, so I'm gonna have to ask them a few questions because, like, voice chat is so important in Bughouse that I would love to have, a list of the streamers up there and just like shoot them a Discord call if I see
But
that I am their partner.
are you going to enter alone
Right.
or with a
I,
partner,
I,
or
I
can you
believe I
enter
believe
with a partner?
it's a loan. I think you're just supposed to be in the random pool. It's not it, it's not with a partner as far as I know.
Okay. And I know that you should create a new account to use for this tournament. Have you thought of a good
Oh,
fun name for it?
I have an account that I used in the other Chest on Quick event variants edition, which is just my name backwards. So just Chuck Mullen backwards is the one I will use. So it is really hard for Blix to defend this. Yeah, and this is partner get a mate, so it's relevant, I guess. Oh, it's interesting. I see Q-ban fix in the random pool. So when chess.com first got Bughouse, there were a lot of fixed players who thought that Vix is the free internet chess server. There were a lot of free internet chess server players who thought that the free internet chess server would continue to be the dominant place for Bughouse, and that they could just pop over to chess.com and recruit some new people and bring them back to the free internet chess server. And of course the opposite kind of happened. That free internet chess server kind of died off, and now everyone plays on chess.com. But for a while in that early stage, people would put fix in their handle just to sort of advertise the other server. So you still see a few of them.
Yeah, Chess.com is just much better. It's much more modern and has. It's so nice to play in a web browser instead of having to download software, and it's
Yeah,
just easier for new players to enjoy the game. So I think
yeah.
that's why the new chess servers have started to dominate like Chess.com.
Right, for sure. And there are definitely ways in which chess.com still hasn't quite caught up yet. Like, a bughouse analysis mode still hasn't appeared. Partner communicator buttons could be improved for sure. But it has gotten better over the years, and it's definitely the place to go for bughouse nowadays.
So I see that go to, he has to sacrifice his queen, and then knight takes, and then you have to go up with his king because white threatens queen d7, and then black's king has to go take the knight on f6, and then he's probably calculating like, how do I mate after that? What's the moves? For example,
I think
knight.
he could just put a new knight on d5 after that, and it looks
Yeah,
pretty game over.
yeah, that's right. That's instead of queen d7, you put a new knight on d5. Yeah, that's right. But wait, then you go king d6. So it looks very good, but it's
Well,
maybe not forced.
if king d6, you could put a bishop, say, on a3, um, and if something goes on b4, you take it, displace the knight, and then the knight is no longer guarding. What was that, d2?
There you see like if that you can see like when in these positions when both players are sitting, what you shouldn't do like Goto did here, he was probably just relaxing and didn't do anything, but you should think actively and like, what should I make, what move should I make, what is happening on the other board and start calculating, because he made like he got mated in 2 there, he moved his king to d8 instead of e7. If he would just have continued to calculate, I'm sure he would have found that he had to go up there, because that was like
Right,
it was clear that would happen. Like,
Right, and often players will, like a certain piece will mate for them, like say a rook or a knight, and they'll say, partner, give me that, and then they'll just sit there waiting for the piece, but the piece doesn't always come. So it rather than sitting there on your hands, like just watching your partner, you should be thinking like, what do I do if it doesn't come? And and often there are other good moves you can make, either offensively or defensively, without that particular piece. And I have so many Discord messages.
Yeah, we will get a lot of messages now when we are organizing the
Yeah, for sure.
chess.com tournament. People will
I
ask
also
for that.
have some
That's just
chess.com
fun.
messages.
So here we see again what I talked to, that you have to move your e-pawn. Now black goat will get mated because he didn't move his e-pawn and couldn't develop the f8 bishop that you said you have to develop this to give your king a square on f8 to run to. So now like 2 pawns is made for white here. And even if they're down time, this it's just too risky to play like this, even if pure essence will sit here for sure, but this is still too risky, I think, to play like this. And now knight takes c7, so I can continue attacking here.
Yeah, and Xerxes has been able to, win a bunch of pieces because of the pressure. So it was better for Goto to sack a piece early to be defended than to have to like hang a bunch of pieces later on.
Yeah, you can say he won back the investment with
For sure.
interest.
So another rook would mate for pure essence. Not
Right,
that he's
then he
going to
would
get
do
it.
rook g8 and start attacking. This move is kind of unusual, but he's famous for making tricky moves. So
Yeah, maybe pawn at g4 here, put pressure on the queen.
That looks good. But he has to be a little bit careful, because if he makes a move that's not threatening so much, then black might start some counter attack. It's because black has a whole set of pieces in hand. So a pawn like pawn h3 or something like that, it would create some threats, like or like this. But Pearson, he knows that.
He's
So he
fine here
knows that.
because the knight guards g1 for now, so there's no smothered mate. But yeah, now it's time for pure essence to go all in, and I think he has mate with pawn at g7, queen at h6.
Right.
Looks quite good. He might need one pawn. No, he doesn't need a pawn. With queen at h6. Now, at worst he has. Oh, okay. His partner was mated. Unfortunately, that was quite a king walk.
Yeah, and maybe he could sit again, but I don't think it was mate. He goes. Let's say if his partner was sitting, Goto was sitting. If Blix goes king h8,
which he has, that's forced. So then,
yeah, and then
queen takes rook,
king h7.
Yeah, I don't
maybe he can do.
I don't quite see mate. Although
maybe he can do. He can probably do queen takes f3, because if black takes this one back, then knight f6 is mate, and queen takes f3. It covers all black's threats. Like, so that's a winning line for white for sure, and they are up like.
It is,
20
but
seconds.
I think he would take the rook first, though, right?
Right, of course.
So take the rook first, then go back to h6, and then queen takes queen.
Yeah, that's possible. Or just like take the rook and then queen takes queen, and then that looks strong.
Take the rook. Oh yeah, and then he lands on h7, then queen takes queen. Yeah, that can work too. I guess my worry there is he might just throw like a bishop or a queen on g7. But yeah, that would mean not taking the queen back, of course. So then this other queen could get involved.
Yeah, that looks kind of forced. That move you said, it looks kind of forced. Yeah, it's not so clear actually. It's not so clear.
PKR is saying you can register as a team. Hold on, that is interesting. Let me see the rules. Honestly, like I just started this stream before even reading this. Where does it say that? Oh, players can register individually or in a team. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely registering in a team. let me try to find another strong streamer and we can just partner. 1800 strength. If you're out there, I would like to partner you. Or Chess Brainiac.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately not a streamer. I saw you had to be like a Twitch streamer, but yeah, you should ask one of those and team up for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm no longer at all concerned about this event. Registration is still open. It just opened today. So let me clarify. There are two different events. Chewy asked first. Oh, okay. You have to be affiliate to do it? Okay. Yeah, so there's two different events. There's Games Done Quick, which is what we're talking about now, which is a one-day event on a one-day Bughouse event takes place 3 hours on November 14th. And then there's the Bughouse World Championships, which takes place over several months. For the Bughouse World Championships, registration has already ended, and we are in the first week of the group stage. Yeah, for the Chess Done Quick, I'm not that concerned about getting first place, but if I can, get second or third, that's money in the pocket. So I will try to find a partner for that. With the prize, when they say you can enter individually or as a team, when they have a first and second place prize, is the prize by team or by? If it's by individuals, I would imagine first and second place would be the same people. But okay. I guess I really should scramble to get a partner then. Oh, okay. PKR has read this. Oh, okay. Are not for each individual, but you split among team members. Okay. Yeah, so I should go and I should really be finding a partner. Who else streams? The Bughouse streamers.
You can ask what's it called, Gnace. I don't think he plays much Bughouse now, but I think he's an affiliate streamer now.
Yeah, he's quite good. He is affiliate. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 1800 strength says. Yeah, how close is Chewy to affiliate? Honestly, I'm not sure if Chewy is not affiliate. I'm not sure he can get affiliate in time because you have to stream on 7 different days within a month, and if he doesn't have affiliate already, he needs to stream 7 days and 4 days. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But I know who you should. The two strongest are probably Helms, except for 1800 strength.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
Those, I think
Helms hasn't really
Helms Knight and
played in this recently. I could ask
and Jan Lee. Maybe one of those two. Those two are probably the best after 1800 strength.
Yeah, and I'm not even concerned about partnering like the best player. I just I don't want to be stuck with a random person, and don't want to be stuck with I would prefer to have a partner who's over like over 1800 something like that. Um, I, I'm quite good when I'm in voice chat with my partner communicating, and this will be a speed run, so we will start off as like 1200. Just trying to secure some money in the pocket. Pastor Hippie says it is bughouse season. It is. Pastor Hippie, did you hear about the Just Done Quick event? Well, first let's shout out Pastor Hippie.
Yeah, Plaster Hippie has been practicing a lot. I've seen him in the pool almost every day, so he should also do the play the streamer event.
Yeah, and Plaster Hippie, there were discussions about you among the organizer. You were one of the edge cases for the under 2000 section, but we made our final decision on that one. And I think you're in the under 2000, right? You're probably among the top seeds there because you've improved immensely very recently. So yeah, so 1800 strength is I don't think it's possible for Chewy to get that in time. Um, does it say you have to be affiliate here? I would imagine you do, but I'm not certain on that.
No, there was a discussion about it before, and actually I asked him. I sent a message to him who's organizing it, and he said it's for affiliate. You have to be affiliate on Twitch. So I posted it
Okay.
there in the Discord channel.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Guess it is required. He's asking for exception. Oh, I see. Well, if he can't get an exception, I would love to partner you 1800 strength. I I think we could have a goal to get you up to 1800 by the end of the tournament, which seems achievable. So I suppose these guys have stopped playing. They're other.
Yeah, we should find another match to watch.
It looks like Christopher Yu is playing. Let's see if there's anyone else particularly interested.
We can watch him. He is playing in the tournament also.
Oh, who is his partner in the tournament?
I believe it's Race for Info, if I remember correctly.
Oh, well, that is a strong team.
Yeah,
Race for Info is another old school player from the free internet chess server. I forget off the top of my head what his fixed handle was, but he is definitely Australian.
Yeah, he told me it's win your rook.
Yes, that makes sense.
And it's fun because there was so many good bughouse players from Australia, but I don't see them so often. Actually, I saw Mugworth played today. Maybe he's training for this streamer. I don't think he's also maybe a streamer. But there is
I don't believe Mugwort has affiliate and cannot get it in time.
There were lots of good Australian bughouse players. It was one of the top countries for sure, but I haven't seen them so much lately. So it would be fun if they started to play more bughouse. There was one also known as Bugzilla. I remember who was very, very, very good.
Yeah, but Bugzilla is I believe on chess.com he's his name, which is like Igor Borowski or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is extremely good. I believe he's also pretty good at 4-player chess as well.
And I looked at his name, Christopher Joe, and apparently he's a very, very young international master. He's I think he's only 14 or something like that, and getting international master at such a young age is really impressive, and that means that you're a great chess talent, and hopefully he will continue to play chess and maybe get a grandmaster one day. That would be fun to follow him, because it's bughouse makes you get to know players, and if he becomes a famous chess player one day, it would be would be nice to say that we know him, or we have played bughouse with him, and so on.
Yeah, that's what we say about Nils nowadays.
Right.
So Carlos has a draw available to him. Oh, he's not taking the draw. I think Carlos is kind of throwing this away. Oh, that is a bad idea. His knight takes queen. Why didn't he take the queen? Wow. But this is kind of some of the play we'll see in the under 2000 section, that they're obvious moves they miss. Nicholas Tice says Christopher Yu is also a champion puzzle composer. Oh, this is a copy pasta, I guess, from Faster Hippie. Oh, it looks like Chess Brainiac is asking, do they have to be affiliate? We'll probably get an authoritative answer on that pretty soon. Okay. Let's see. Is there someone else to watch? Probably should wrap up this stream fairly soon. And we kind of entered to watch Gatask. I do have some other things that I want to do today. So maybe we could find someone to raid. There are a few chess streamers on right now. We have Pepe Lu, we have Radon, we have Prof Blundermaster. Let's check the chess category, see if we see someone streaming Bughouse. Yeah, PKR, but both players on the team have to stream. Okay. Let's see if we can find Radon is streaming 4-player chess. I don't see anyone streaming. I don't see anyone streaming Bughouse apart from me. So I think we'll probably raid a Radon, which doesn't get to happen very often for me, since he is kind of a different time zone from me, and very often I am streaming late at night rather than in the day like this. So let's send you all to 7991 Radon. He is also actually participating in the Bughouse World Championship. I believe he's partnered the P Flight, something like that. And Luke, who's 4-player chess, is participating in the Bughouse World Championship. So it's good to see all these players participating. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We're gonna have a lot of Bughouse coverage coming up. Because like I generally would stream on just Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Tuesday and Wednesday nights, but I'm gonna be streaming throughout the week in the daytime, covering a lot of these matches. Tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time in the US, we will be doing a stream with me and Scary Snakes and anyone else who wants to stop by, where we will be answering questions about the Bughouse World Championship, and probably watch some games while we do that. So I hope to see some of you there. Anyway, have a great night, or have a great afternoon, everyone. Let 7991 Radon know where you came from. Wish him luck in the Bughouse tournament. And check out 4-player chess as well, which is another fun variant. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Bye.